College students, what are some tips and tricks that you know that will significantly improve college life? College campuses have an incredible amount of resources available to students that many might not know about. The libraries are incredible. They often provide access to a lot of publications and academic resources that would be behind paywalls otherwise, not to mention movies, music, and books. Many colleges will have a career center with advisors that can help you figure out what you want to do after you graduate and how to line yourself up to meet those goals while you are in school. Your professors can help out with that as well, so get to know them in class and in office hours as well. You can also take advantage of workout facilities, courts, fields that are most likely more readily available and affordable than they would be if you were just a resident of the city. I mean, a lot of it depends on where you go, but many colleges are basically mini self-sustaining environments. Take advantage of that fact. Can't help but feel if you don't know about the library and career center, you are definitely at the wrong place. Make sure you carve out some downtime for yourself, especially for freshmen who are adjusting to the hectic college life. It is crucial to be able to escape and find a place to relax for a little bit. You lose almost all privacy in college, especially if you have a roommate. Find somewhere on campus that is quiet, and go there when you feel you are too overwhelmed. Trust me, it can really save your life. Go to your professor's office hours. They will often give you a much more personalized experience. Many professors will basically tutor you, and in doing so tell you what will be on the next exam. I spend more time in office hours than class for harder subjects. Also, I feel like they are more likely to give you that little edge if they know like you. Instead of a B+, maybe you get an A. Office hours are like free tutoring sessions, especially since almost no one goes to them at my school. Go to class. It's unbelievable how many people skip classes. Also, get involved with student groups on campus. You'll meet like-minded people that way. Communicate with your professors. If you can latch on to a few professors, they could end up helping you later down the road. Also, do your homework. It's amazing how your exam grades improve when you don't have to learn everything the night before. Go to the gym. Most big universities will likely let you go for free as it will be included in tuition. It'll likely be clean and have top-notch equipment. You can join a club or an intramural team for just about everything. Those are a good way to meet people as well. When you're stressing over finals or a paper, you'd be surprised how much an hour or so at the gym will clear your mind and help you focus. Plus, it's college, so drinking is assumed and you're going to want to combat some of the toxins you're drinking out of that funnel. Go to class. The number of people I've seen almost lose their goddamned minds during final season because they didn't go to class on a regular basis is nutty. One way to keep yourself motivated to go is to divide up your tuition that goes toward classes by the number you're taking. Then divide that by the number of times that class meets. Find out how much money you're flushing by skipping and see if you don't feel like a turd for not showing up. Just go. It isn't that hard and it's what you're there for anyway. Keep up your hygiene and appearance. This sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people think they can be stinky and look like a scrub just because mom isn't around. Nobody wants to talk to the guy who looks like he just rolled out of bed, took a massive bong hit, and showed up to class without showering. I'm sure a lot of people will disagree, but being well put together, clean, and well dressed will make you more approachable. Professors and your peers will be more willing to get to know you. Use condoms. Enter the gym part. I think I gained about 30 pounds my freshman year. I didn't really use the rec like I could have. I ate like crap on my meal plan. Spent the better part of my sophomore year losing the weight and then some. Also, if you are on a meal plan and Chick-fil-A is an option, don't eat it 5 times a week. Go to class. It's a ton easier to get by in college if you actually go to class. Don't wait until the last minute to study, because chances are it could take 30 hours to prepare, not those last 3 hours you saved to cram. Don't forget to go out and do new things, or else you might end up finding college really lonely and unable to make friends. As a student with ADHD, I can't spend 30 hours on anything, let alone something I won't enjoy. Keep your door open. People will flock to an open door. You'll make friends. You'll play Smash Bros all night with people and college will be a breeze. And say hi to your dorm mates, people in your classes, etc. A random greeting to a guy who lived on my floor my freshman year of college turned into lifelong friendship. My handwriting is awful, so although this is small, some of us need all the organizational help we can get. For classes with non-cumulative tests, every day when I take notes I write the date and an arbitrary symbol, let's say a. So when you're cramming for your next midterm and can't tell where to begin in your notebook, just look for all the notes with a next to the date and study those. Change the symbol for the next midterm. After community college, universities will look more heavily at your GPA during your transfers. Do not freak up community college. Too late. It might sound like the obvious, but don't get written up for stupid crap. I'm not saying to party or drink, but always try to be aware of what's going on. Party in someone else's room and leave if it gets too crowded, for example. If you're smart about stuff, you can cruise your way through college without having to deal with administration. Too bad you didn't tell this to the drunk guy who was spraying a fire extinguisher into people's dorms. If you aren't a morning person, don't sign up for morning classes. You will skip them. If you plan on being social, don't sign up for late evening classes. You will skip them. You want to find classes between 10 and 6 if at all possible. Show up to your classes. You may not get the opportunity during your first year, but it doesn't hurt to try. Approach your professors and inquire about research opportunities. Apply yourself during these opportunities. When you go to apply for a job or graduate school, you'll want letters of recommendations. The professors you did research for will be happy to supply them. Find programs to volunteer in. Graduate schools and employers care about this. It is important to do well in school, but anyone can study at home and learn the same information. What you can't get at home is the social experience. Network, meet friends and surround yourself around people that are trying to succeed. When you need a job, these people will already have their foot in the door and will vouch for you. When you get a chance to take an elective, don't pick a blow-off class. Pick a course that you are actually interested in and something that will advance your skill sets. No one cares that you took bowling. If you take a few foreign language courses, that will make you much more marketable. You may find that you will also have the option to minor in another field. College shouldn't be all about work. Assign time each day that you'll be dedicated to working hard, but also assign time to relax and have fun. You are no longer living with your parents. You are your own boss and are responsible for your own quality of life. You need to be responsible, but set aside at least one day a week to just have a good time with no worries. No matter the advice people give you, no matter how strongly you believe it won't happen to you, you will wait until the last minute. Your work will suffer for it and your education will suffer for it. Get a planner now, and when you have a project, don't write in the due date. Set milestones for the project and put those milestones into planner. You might still wait until the last minute for each milestone, but at least you will have several opportunities to realize how far behind you are and you will have the chance to get your crap in order. Don't drink and drive. You are young. You are not good at driving and you certainly aren't good at drinking. Don't try doing both. Recognize people around you that are at college for the wrong reasons and distance yourself from them. They will bring you down and your work and studies will suffer. I love the drunk driving advice. Really well put. Study in the boardrooms on campus. Step 1. Walk into any building on campus. Step 2. Wander around with the utmost confidence until you find a boardroom. Step 3. Sit down in a nice, cushy, executive chair and spread your stuff out all over that giant table. Best case, you never have to deal with distractions and have a giant workspace. Worst case, someone asks you to leave. We got ourselves a South African resident pimp over here. Genius idea, man. Do not have just one group of friends. If something goes wrong in that group, bad breakup, random inexplicable chick fight, someone fails out, and you don't have any other friends, life gets very lonely and messy fast. This happened to me my first year. I had 2 groups of friends. I hung out with one more because they were more reliable. Second semester comes and 90% of the unreliable group all failed out. Get involved. The sooner, the better. Talk to people, especially the first 2 weeks. Go to class. Go to class. Go to class. Did I mention going to class? Network. Networking is important and can help you land a lot of different opportunities while in school. Getting to know people early on is huge. Everybody is open to meeting new people when they first get there, and if you wait too long, everyone will already have a friend group and won't be as open to hanging with completely new people. Don't take morning classes. 8 AM is not the same time as it was in high school. It's impossible. If you are a morning person, do it. I am a morning person. I love getting everything out of the way early and having the rest of the day. If you are a night owl, you would not want the 8 AMs. If you get screwed at registration, learn to love coffee. Download your books. Become friends with at least 1 or 2 professors. They'll help you when you need it most. I ended up not having to take a language requirement because my department advisor got me out of it. Also, if you hate taking notes, record your lectures on your phone and play them back later. I think it's useful. However, I feel like if I went to lecture to record what the professor said just to bring it back to listen to it, I'd feel like it's a waste of time. First of all, what you need to know is that you're there. For whatever reason, you are. So let's make the best out of it. 1. Time. You're going to have a lot of it. However, if you don't use it wisely, you are going to have a lot of it post-college spent hating yourself. Learn what you need to learn. Remember, not having good grades doesn't mean you're going to be a failure, but having good grades will very likely help you for future plans. If you take 18 hours worth of class, max allowed unless waiver is signed at my school, you're spending 18 hours a week in a classroom. If you spent another 18 hours MF studying, reviewing, doing the work on the front end, you are still spending 4 hours less than a full-time job plus the weekend. When broken down like this, you can see that you'll still have plenty of time to dong around that academic unrelated. 2. Knowledge. There is always that one jackass who says something like I didn't study and got that very high grade. Then you want to kick that smug face with the fury of a supernova. Note this though, he might be lying, or not. Barring from cheating, the only reason why he scored higher is cause he knows it better. It's simple. It doesn't matter if he studied for 20 minutes and you for 8 hours. The test is the test, and he scored higher cause he knows it better. If after 24 hours of studying and you know you're the same crap, you'll do just as well, maybe even better. Test grade is always rewarded on knowledge, not the behind the scene work you put into it. If you know you're crap, the test will show. I can spend 50 hours reading the same passage over and be and moan cause I allocated so much time on it but still bombed it. Or I can be honest with myself and actually learn the material being taught. It'll be different for everyone, but ultimately, you need to know what you need to know. 3. Fun. My god, please make friends. If they're all freaking douchebags, please reevaluate yourself. Take your time with it. But unless your student population is 14, chances are there are plenty of kindred spirits. Give it a chance to find out. 4. Money. It's going to be a problem. You can either make more or spend less. Obvious pros and cons with time spent on source of cash and time spent on use of cash. Find a balance. Be happy, not a slave. Really, go to class. There's a reason I say this. At first it's fine and you'll go to all your classes. Then one day you'll feel tired or something and realize this isn't high school and you can just skip the class and catch up later. Skipping one class isn't the end of the world, especially if you can get the notes or have a book. The problem is that you start justifying this over and over again. The damage of missing a class is exponential. If you miss one class, do a bit of reading and go back for the next, you'll be pretty much on track. If you miss 2 classes, it's going to be tough to figure out what's going on. Miss the 3 classes in a week and it's going to be a pain to catch up, since even if you show up religiously from then on you'll be behind. So yeah, go to class. But if you slip, do your best to make sure you never skip 2 of the same class in a row. I went from high school honors to failing university courses simply because I fell behind by not showing up to the classroom. Even if you show up and fall asleep or get distracted, by being there you'll know what you missed. When you skip you're never sure you cover everything that was supposed to. It really is much too easy to skip out on classes. A lot of other posts say go to class, but this is a perfect explanation for why it really is such a big deal. Treat classwork like a job. Work 9-5 Monday through Friday. If you finish your homework, work ahead or read the textbook. Also, find PDF versions of your textbooks. It sounds boring, but 90% of people's problem with classwork is they simply don't put in enough hours to understand the material or get the work done. You won't be missing out on fun college stuff since nothing happens then anyway, and you won't spend 12 hours on Sunday frantically catching up on neglected classwork. 1. Go to class. 2. Go to class. 3. Go to library to do work, so if you try to use Reddit you feel like a loser. 4. Go to class. 5. Go to class. 6. 7. Profit. Sleep. It's really tempting to stay up late and hang out with friends, but you'll find you're happier and healthier when you have some semblance of a sleep schedule. Sleep is my favorite. Also, don't waste opportunities like guest lectures or tutoring. Those professors whose office hours you go to will probably write you a letter of recommendation if you're trying to further your education. This is what I tell myself every semester when classes are about to start. I'll go to bed at a normal time this semester. I always feel so much better when I do. It usually lasts a day, if that. 2 slices of bread and some American cheese in the middle. Butter the outside of the bread. Wrap it in tin foil. Put your iron on it. Set to high. Flip it in about 7 minutes. Presto. You just made a dorm room grilled cheese. Here's what I did that really helped me out. I got involved with the foreign exchange program and worked with lots of the students and made friends with tons of them. I kept up the friendship, and after graduation I ended up having free places to stay in Finland, Estonia, and Amsterdam. This significantly decreased my European trip costs and I got to explore interesting places with locals. Don't drink soda. This is how the freshman 15 happens. Go to class. Don't fail out over something so dumb. If you're struggling, go to office hours or tutoring. Cs may get degrees, but they don't teach you strategies to fully comprehend material and succeed in a field. Make friends with professors. They will be important to later success. Take time for yourself and your happiness. Even if it's a few extra bucks for Froyo or an episode of a TV show at night. Do what you need to stay sane. Don't get overly attached to girlfriends. They tend to be flaky in college, and there is plenty of time left for that once you're out, and by that I mean 23, 28 or so. Though it's worth pointing out that it becomes considerably harder to meet girls after college. If you want peace and quiet, the library stacks are virtually abandoned at all hours of the day. Crawl up there with your blanket, laptop, whatever, and enjoy the silence. Learn how to cook a few basic things. I had a rice cooker, toaster oven, mini fridge, blender, electric kettle, French press, small cutting board, and a few ramekins and baking dishes that fit into my toaster oven. A microwave is nice too, but unnecessary with a toaster oven and kettle. With that you can make almost anything. I made a lot of rice with various toppings, reheated it with cheese and other things in the ramekins in the toaster oven, made my own tortilla chips and hummus, etc etc. I had Tupperware to bring my homemade food to class so I didn't have to buy food at school or walk all the way back to my dorm. It saved me a lot of money, and I went to Costco when I could for bulk items, and shopped at grocery outlet other times. Check out your local co-op, too. They often have an excellent bulk section where you can get dry foods like rice or beans much cheaper. Cooking for yourself is always cheaper than buying food at school, or paying extra for packaged and processed convenience foods. If you must, buy some canned soup or ramen and add more veggies or sausage to it to fill you up. If you are living with friends, buy groceries every and try to cook dinner for with everyone as much as you can. It will save a crap ton of money. You learn to cook-ish, and gives a perfect opportunity to just hang out. My friends and I did this senior year and it was fantastic. By the end we could make the best quesadillas you will ever eat, haha. Also, it leads to a great way to meet and befriend your neighbors. You cook them dinner, they cook you dinner. It turns into a great time. Spend your summers doing something productive. Get an internship in your field, even volunteer to do research or something if you have to. Job prospects are 100x better this way. It doesn't take much to make your resume stand out from the thousands of other college grads and the dismal job hunt. To-do lists. Freaking to-do lists. And plan your studying homework time before the week starts using your syllabi. down to the page numbers you'll be reading, that way you don't get stuck cramming 37,467,246,274 pages in one night. Might seem excessive, but it makes everything more manageable. Your all-nighter in the library is 99% less impressive when you think about how much time you wasted on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Work smarter. I may be late, but check and see if your university has any sort of a career services office. Mine does, and they offer many resources specifically for our students, from resume, cover letter help to mock interviews to help you prepare for once you leave school. This is where you would look for an on-campus job too. Typically, jobs located on campus will have flexible hours and will work with your class schedule. Definitely helpful if you become involved in lots of activities or take a lot of credit hours. I'm heading into my junior year of college in the fall and have learned a lot since my freshman year. Get involved. Don't just sit in your dorm all day and watch Netflix. College is the best time of your life, and you're going to want to have cool stories to tell your kids someday, and telling them you've seen every episode of The Office 14 times isn't all that exciting. Go to those campus held events that may seem boring or lame. Learn about another culture or subject. Usually these events have free food, you'll learn to love free food, and are a great way to meet new people. Introduce yourself to your professor on the first day. If you go somewhere with 200 people lectures, it's really important you do this so they remember you. Go to their office hours. Ask for help. Participate in class. This could be the difference between an A or a B in a class. Pick a major you're interested in. This is what you could potentially be doing for the next 30-40 years of your life. You want to pick something you're going to enjoy doing every day. Also, don't be afraid to test the waters in lots of subjects. Changing your major isn't a big deal and happens all the time. One of my good friends changed his 7 times before his junior year and changed it again halfway through that year. Do your homework before you go out and party. Nothing is worse than trying to write an essay or work on a project with a nasty hangover. Trust me on this one. Also, you don't have to black out every time you party. Sure, you can do it every once in a while, but if you do it every single time, people will start to get annoyed with you. I have a friend who blacked out maybe 4 to 5 times a week, and now we don't invite him out anymore because we all got sick of dealing with his drunk butt. Hope some of this advice helps you out. I've had a blast in college so far following these few tips. Hopefully you will too. If you're taking full-time classes, do not work full-time, especially for a steel fabrication company, if you want personal or social time. Yay. I'm currently making that mistake. I get max 5 hours of sleep a night, and my weekends are spent attempting to balance homework and my girlfriend. This isn't a reply, more of a question. Do you guys have any advice for a non-commute school? My college doesn't have any dorms because it's a public uni in the city. I rarely get any chances to attend social events because everyone seems to just go to classes then go home. Do every goddamn shred of homework or extra credit you are handed on time for at least the first year. You learn to manage your time and how much effort you have to put into classes to get the grades you want. 1. Get a rug to cover the entire dorm floor. Preferably a rug that's fluffy. It will make the room way more comfy. 2. Get some Christmas lights for under the beds and stuff. Watching a movie with them on also makes the room more comfy. 3. If you're in a dorm, leave your door open when you're hanging out and stuff, gaming etc. And when people look like they wanna come in, invite them. You will have a lot of new friends. 4. Try to become buds with your R. It will make both your lives easier. 5. Study right after your class. If you can go to the library on Thursday, stay there till as long as you can and get as much work done as possible. Your weekends will be much less stressful. 6. Pick your friends wisely. It's not like high school. Your friends define how people see you. 7. Talk to that crush in class or at a party. If it doesn't work out, don't worry, there are plenty more. 8. Wear flip-flops in the shower. Just do it. 9. Become friends with your professors. The more they like you, the more they be willing to give you an extra point or two. 10. Don't plagiarize. Write your own crap. You will be royally fricked if you get caught, and especially nowadays you most likely will. Learn to discipline yourself when it comes to being social. This is what killed my grades in college. Being in several student organizations, I was in several social circles, all of which had different nights of the week that they would regularly hang out. I didn't want to miss spending time with folks, but I never just stopped by. It was always drinks, food, and staying out past midnight. Go Hawks. I'm a bit late to the conversation, but this is worth saying. Learn to ask for help. Whether it's tutoring, counseling, registration, advising, or anything, just ask for help. One of the many reasons why I failed out of university in my 3rd year was because I didn't ask for help. If I had asked for help, grief counseling, academic advising, office hours, even talking to my rugby coaches, during the year and a half it took me to get kicked out of my university, my academic career would have been much happier and successful. Instead, I lost a partial athletic scholarship, lost the rest of my academic funding, let my team down, disappointed my parents, and next year when I do graduate my BA will have taken me 10 years instead of 4. Most schools are full of resources to help you be successful. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Lots of times when you go to look for help from your school, if the person you speak to can't help you, they can help you find what you need or point you in the right direction. Also, be polite, be professional, and be willing to communicate. If you consistently do this, you will stand out for it. Your professors or TAs are more than likely to be lenient with you if they know things are going down in your life. But you've proven that you are a present. You've been talking to them all semester, and professional student. This means your legitimate life crisis, "My grandmother is dying," will be seen as legit rather than just an excuse for getting an extension. TLDR. Learn to ask for help. Be polite, be professional, and be willing to communicate. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.